Decided I'd go ahead and post a video where I do a 7 round mock draft real quick. Toyed around in my head with a lot of ways to do it, but I thought I'd just sit here in my rocking chair under the sun, get out of the house a little bit, bust out a little mock draft. So in the first round, like I've already said in the previous video, pick 17, I think it's K'Lavon Chaisson, the defensive end from LSU. You know, if the Cowboys had to play a game tomorrow, we've seen them go through a season without Travis Frederick at center. We've seen what Joe Looney can do. They drafted Connor McGovern from Penn State last year in the 3rd round. They had a 2nd-round grade on him. So I think they could play a game with one of those two at center. We're up to our eyeballs at receiver. If you think about it, I don't think it would be hard to use Cedric Wilson or Devin Smith in the slot as a 3rd receiver just to get through a game. Same thing with tight end. Blake Jarwin, we know what he can do. So I think the Cowboys are good if they had to play a game tomorrow on offense. Defensively, we've seen Chidobe Awuzie and Jordan Lewis make plays. LVE still hurt, but we've seen Joe Thomas play okay. They upgraded at defensive tackle with Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe. The concern to me is defensive end. I like Tyrone Crawford. He's duct tape. I think he's better inside than playing at defensive end. I would be concerned if we had to play a game tomorrow and expect Tyrone Crawford to get home to the quarterback with DeMarcus Lawrence being double teamed. I feel good about Awuzie and Lewis. Other fans don't. I do, because I've seen them play well, and I think they're capable of doing it for a long time with a different staff that seems more competent. So that's why I think Chaisson is I think the defensive end pick, we have to nail that within the first 2 or 3 rounds. Not necessarily at 17, but I think if Chaisson's on the board, he's too good to pass. In the 2nd round, it's hard for me to not take a corner because that is a big need. And the one I've kind of settled in on is Noah Igbeneghu from Auburn. Some other corners I like at that spot, but I don't think they'll be there, is Damon Arnett from Ohio State and the kid from Virginia, Bryce Hall. I like his size, but I think it's Igbeneghu. I read that they met with him a couple days ago, and something in my gut said I bet he's the pick. So I've got K'Lavon Chaisson in the 1st round, Noah Igbeneghu in the 2nd. In the 3rd round, Raekwon Davis, the defensive tackle from Alabama. He's a big guy, 6'6", 300 plus. I love his size. 4th round, KJ Hill, wide receiver from Ohio State. There's 2 receivers in this draft I love, KJ Hill and James Prochet at SMU. I think the 4th round is too early maybe for Prochet. I could be wrong. He's got the best hands in the class. But KJ Hill in the slot with Cooper and Gallup on the outside, that's deadly. 5th round, I think, is where we get our quarterback to develop for the future, to challenge Cooper Rush as the backup. Captain James Morgan from FIU is my pick in the 5th round. Then I think we come back and get Jordan Fuller, the safety from Ohio State. There's some safeties in this draft I really like. A lot of them in the 1st round. Xavier McKinney from Alabama, Grant Delpit from LSU, and then the other guy I really like is Jordan Fuller from Ohio State. The Ohio State games that I watched on TV, he's always making plays. And then I think we finish it in the 7th round with the linebacker. I'm going Michael Pickney from Miami. I like him. He's a little shorter probably than what they would like, but he makes plays sideline to sideline. So just to recap, ignore my neighbor. Just to recap, K'Lavon Chaisson in the 1st round. Noah Igbeneghu, the cornerback from Auburn in the 2nd. 3rd round, Raekwon Davis, defensive tackle, Alabama. 4th round, KJ Hill, wide receiver, Ohio State. With our 2 picks in the 5th round, I'm going James Morgan, the quarterback, from FIU, and Jordan Fuller, safety from Ohio State. And then in the 7th round, finishing out, Michael Pickney, linebacker from Miami. That's my mock draft. The way I look at mock drafts is I don't try to look at did they correctly project player to team, because that's hard because you just don't know how every team stacks their board. I'm looking at positions, and I think that it's going to be a defensive heavy draft. I could be wrong. It could be offense. You know, this is a deep receiver class. It wouldn't surprise me if they did double dip at receiver. I was thinking they were going to double dip at corner, and they may still do that, but you're hearing a lot of talk about quarterback and linebacker. So that's why I only had one corner in this draft and one defensive tackle. Because when I've been doing the simulations, I've been taking 2 defensive tackles and 2 corners. That's what I would do. But man, I am excited. I'm excited with Mike McCarthy and what seems to be a competent staff with these guys that just seem like they're primed and ready to go, ready for somebody to point them in the right direction and get them there. I can't wait for this season to start. I can't wait for this draft tonight and to watch our Cowboys load up and reload and go get that 6th Super Bowl, baby. Go Cowboys!